Hey there, welcome to Tech Positive, show that we're bringing you to bring positive aspects of technology to revenue growth and profitability. My name's Charlie Dino. I'm the host of the show. I'd like to thank first, before we get started, our sponsor for the show today, For Cloud Services, where you can get affordable, secure, cloud managed services. So the topic for today that we wanted to talk about was technology positives in the healthcare arena. I'm sure all of us know healthcare. So wanted to introduce our guest for the day, Monty Pickren from Barnes Healthcare. He's the CIO there. Hey, Monty, how are you today?
Doing very well. Appreciate you inviting me in.
No worries. So can you tell us a little bit about Barnes Healthcare before we get into the topic here?
Sure. Barnes is a fourth generation family owned healthcare business. One of the unique things about Barnes is that we offer a fairly wide range of services within the company. We have HME, we have infusion pharmacies, we have retail pharmacies, and the latest thing that we've really been focusing on is the whole telehealth program. So Barnes is very focused on customer outcomes, patient outcomes, and making sure that we're improving the quality of life for our patients. So it's an exciting company to work for, and more importantly, it's got the right focus, I think, which is really the patients and patient outcomes.
That's awesome. Excellent. So get into the topic. So you can tell us a little bit about, like, you being the CIO, how are you bringing technology, and then what's technology look like in healthcare? Like, what's some of the new stuff that we're seeing in technology from a positive perspective?
Well, obviously, with the COVID outbreak and the things that have been going on for the last year, it's really accelerated the advent of the telehealth programs. This is something that Charlie Barnes, our CEO, and Amanda Martin, our director of nursing, really started a couple of years before I got to Barnes. Working on it for about 7 years now. I came on about 5 years ago, and we've continued to build that. What we found was that some of the package software really didn't do the things that we felt were important for our patients. We have a lot of intellectual capital around healthcare, and we wanted to be able to build that into our product and be able to take advantage of that. So really the direction that the industry is going is really more telehealth, making it more convenient for the patients, the doctors, and the payers, and in all of that, really reducing the cost of the overall healthcare.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So just a follow-up question there. So from a patient perspective, have you guys found, now that we're starting to eke out of the pandemic, are people still embracing telehealth?
Yeah, people are actually embracing it even more now. We for instance, go into a home and we'll put in scales and we'll put in blood pressure cuffs and those types of things. And the patient will get up every morning and take their readings. It comes into a triage board where our nurses are monitoring. And if they see anything adverse going on, they'll contact the patient or whoever needs to be contacted on behalf of that patient. So it's something that is being embraced more and more, especially the video chatting with patients. And it's really going to be the wave of the future as we go forward.
Okay. So just one other question there from me is, for the audience, is what would you say as far as the practitioners, the nurses, the PAs, et cetera, how have they embraced the technology change?
It's really interesting because they've really embraced it because it takes away a lot of the manual processes that you used to do. If you look at the way the nurses used to do, they would write everything out on a pad and then go back and key it into computers. Now they have their Surf Pros. They go into the home and they'll just take all the notes and the assessments on that iPad, and then that is transmitted back up to all of our systems. One of the other big things that's really improving as we implement this technology is the ability to share that information with their doctors or their specialists or other caregivers within their care team. So that ability to keep their doctors apprised of what's going on is something that's very important.
Yeah, sure. So just another question from me, I'm sure the audience is thinking this is, so has this, I assume, helped the bottom line from, a healthcare perspective, healthcare practitioners, but more so for Barnes, I assume not having to have people come in. There's a great, aspect there for them to be able to get their diagnosis and what they need to do next from a telehealth perspective. But has there been a positive impact on your profitability?
Yeah, there's absolutely a big impact. Obviously, that's not our focus, but just the byproduct of it is it makes it a lot more cost efficient. For instance, we don't have to have a nurse go out and actually take vitals. Those are done by the patient, come into our triage board, and the only time that we really get involved is when those readings that come in are outside of the norms or something that we need to be attended to. The other thing is that the whole industry is moving towards more value-based contracts rather than a transactional type activity. So, for instance, we partner with a big hospital in Atlanta where when they discharge a patient, we go in and we monitor their patients for the first 30 days. Because if they go back into the hospital with the same DRG, the hospital is actually fined for that. So now we've been able to cut their costs and they don't get fined. We've cut the hospital in Atlanta, their readmissions by 85%. So it's really a big savings for the hospital, and then we share in those savings.
Excellent. Anything else that you'd want to tell the audience about positive aspects of technology in the future for healthcare?
Yeah. Well, I think I'll just close in saying that the whole focus really is to make sure that the patient care is better than ever, that we have the outcomes. We always do a quality of life survey before we start services and then at the end of the services, because really the goal of the technology is to make the patient's life better.
Thanks so much, Monty. What a great topic for tech positive telehealth, us using that during the pandemic and using it positively, as Monty just told us. So listen, if you're watching this, please like us down below, leave a comment if something resonated with you, and certainly leave a comment if you have ideas around how we can make technology a positive for revenue growth or profitability. Thanks for tuning in, and tune in next time. Hey, if you believe technology can be a positive in business, please like and subscribe to our channel.